What's going on, guys? Mortgage and real estate broker Mike here again, and I've got a good one for you today, guys. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. What I decided to do is a review video, a reaction video to what different attorneys say about how you should handle real estate, how to protect your assets. Let's take a look.
Do you believe in marriage?
I mean, I believe people believe in marriage.
No, but do you?
Yeah. Do I believe in marriage? I don't. I don't think it's a
seen.
useful technology. I understand culturally why people do it, but I don't think people should need it.
Useful technology. He's so mechanical in the way he goes about explaining this stuff. And even though it might come across as, comical in a way, everything he's saying has a lot of weight.
Get married as many times as you want if you have a prenup. If you have a prenup, go get married. Getting married's a blast. Being married is difficult. Someone once said that it's great to be married sometimes. The problem is you're married all the time.
So you're a fan of prenups?
I'm a huge fan of prenups. I mean, I shouldn't be, because a prenup for a couple of $1,000s will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially in legal fees, if not millions. So there are clients I have that have spent over $1 million just in their legal fees, that if they had spent $2,000 on a prenup, none of that. They'd still have that money in their pocket. And that's incredible to me. Like, I have two sons who are adults that they are absolutely going to have prenups. Like, they have to have prenups. They'd be fools to not have prenups. It's like jumping out of a plane with no parachute. Why would you do that? It's stupid. Prenups are enforceable. They make sense. I actually think there's something very romantic about prenups, because they're forcing you to have a conversation about this relationship.
What does a typical prenup look like?
The easiest prenup in the world. Easiest. Yours, mine, ours. That's it. Yours, mine, ours. If in your name, it's yours. If it's in my name, it's mine.
Like in a divorce, all the assets are split 50-50.
Well, no, what you say in a prenuptial agreement is, if it's an asset or a liability, if it's in my name, it's mine. If it's in your name, it's yours. If it's in our joint names, we'll divide it 50-50. That's it. Yours, mine, ours.
If you're finding value in this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Send it to someone you think might find it useful. I want to talk about an interesting phenomenon that I've noticed in real estate, where I actually just closed a deal a couple of weeks ago with a couple who made the decision to not be married. You see this happening where people kind of look at the institution of marriage as this impediment to their lives, right? Especially if they have assets and, they're going to own real estate and all the rest of it. It's not something that they feel that they necessarily need.
Have to have ongoing conversations throughout the marriage about, hey, I got this bonus at work. Do I put it in my account? Do I put it in the joint account?
But if the husband owns a house that's worth, $2 million, and he marries a woman, the house is his still?
Well, they have to have a conversation. Do I owe you a house?
That's an awkward conversation.
Okay.
So here in Florida, when you're a married couple, your title, the deed, is titled as one. Like, you are one entity as a married couple, and it's called tenants by entirety.
What's a more awkward conversation? A conversation 10 years later with a lawyer about the fact that you have to give half of this house away to someone. Isn't it better to have that conversation when you still, why would you learn how to fight in a fight?
But won't that undermine the love that each person feels?
Why? You're gonna die. Does that undermine your life? Or does it make you conscious of the fact that this is finite and that you should be out there? I think having a conversation with your partner about, look, I love you. You love me. We want to do this thing together. But the numbers are against us and the world is antagonistic to it. And I hope we'll be together forever. But if we split up, what do we owe each other? What do you expect from me? Because I have to tell you something. I'm a fair person. If you say to me, Jim, I'm not going to work as hard because you make a good living. So if we split up, I'm going to need help for a couple of years because I'm not going to pay attention to my career. Okay? Is that unreasonable? That's totally reasonable. If I say, hey, listen, I have this house and I bought it, but I'm buying it with money that I made really before we were together. So if we split up, I don't really think you deserve half of it. I think that if we bought things for it together, that, okay, those things you can half of, but the house itself, that's money I had before I met you, and Why can't you have that conversation? Why not? Instead, you buy a house. You do a HUD-1, a lead paint disclosure. You got to sign all these things that this is how much the interest is going to be, and this is what you get married and get a fucking pamphlet. You don't get anything. You just did the most legally significant thing you're ever going to do other than die. And no one has explained any of it to you. People come into my office and they go, well, my retirement account, that's in my name. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's in your name. Okay, was it acquired during the marriage? Okay, she's got half of it. Well, I have this bank account, but it's in my sole name. It's money that I inherited from my mom. I'm like, okay, and it's in your name. Yeah, but you inherited that money during the marriage. Yeah, and did you put money that you earned during the marriage in that account also? Yeah, okay, that's commingled and transmuted. That's now marital property. So they don't know that. Why? Because no one tells them that when they're getting married. You spend more time talking about the cake than you do talking about the fact that you just opted out of the title system. That's gigantic. You can't legally change the beneficiary of your life insurance, even to your children if you're married, without your spouse signing a consent to that. No one tells you that when you get married. Elvis can marry you for $20 at a drive-through cathedral. And it's a legal status, a massive legal. You buy your spouse a Rolex, you bought yourself one half of a Rolex. You buy someone a birthday present who you're married to, you bought yourself one half of that birthday present. Nobody knows. People don't know that. They learn that for the first time in my office or in a courtroom. That's insane.
Mortgage professionals, I want to talk to you about On-Course Learning, a website dedicated to the training and support of mortgage loan officers. Everything from exam preparation, continuing education, professional development, and even late continuing education. If you missed your deadline for doing your CE, you can come to On-Course Learning and do your late continuing education. All courses are certified by the NMLS, so no matter where you are in the country, you can do your CE, you can do classes required to become a mortgage loan originator, and the training is approved in every state. Back when I was preparing to become a mortgage loan officer, I prepared and studied my butt off. If I had On-Course Learning to prepare for my NMLS exam, I would not have worried as much. Their video tutorials, their study quizzes and tests almost guarantee that you're going to pass your exam on the first try. Not to mention their professional development courses. Everything from soft skills to public speaking to sales techniques, you name it, they have it. If you're looking to skyrocket your mortgage career, I'm going to put the links below in this video so you can give On-Course Learning a try. You won't regret it. In this next video, we're going to review an attorney that compares the difference between a prenuptial agreement to a trust. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that a trust as a vehicle to protect assets and real estate is not utilized more often. It's a great vehicle, and I've only ever had a handful of clients ask me about putting their real estate in a trust to protect it, to make sure that it goes where they want it to go after they pass, protect it in a divorce, as well as anonymity, right? You don't want people to know that you own certain properties. You can put it in a trust. Let's hear what he has to say.
Both a trust and a prenuptial agreement have their benefits, but which one is right for you? The answer is that it depends on your situation. And if you have significant assets to protect from decades in the asset protection field, the trust is most likely the best choice for you. One of the key differences between these type of asset protection strategies is how many parties they involve. Using a trust to protect assets in divorce is something that you can do alone, whereas a prenuptial agreement requires the agreement and signature of both parties in the marriage. It's also important to note that if you create a prenuptial agreement, it needs to be done right. An agreement that isn't written correctly can leave room for an attorney to find loopholes. Anything not in writing clearly can be contested in divorce court.
If you're going through a divorce, mortgage companies do not recognize a divorce as a reason to remove someone from the mortgage. So for example, in the case of a husband and wife who bought a home together and they're both on the mortgage, unless that property gets refinanced or sold, guess what? The other person, let's say the husband, for example, who moves out of the house, and let's say the wife keeps the house, that husband's name is still on the mortgage. and you're still tied up and responsible for however the person makes the payment on that mortgage. So what you should do in your divorce decree is insist or make sure it's enforced that the home is refinanced within a certain period of time or sold. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments below. I'll see you soon.